Hack Tutoring Services presents How to Write a Thesis Statement. First, let's start off with what a thesis is. It's usually one complete sentence that tells the reader what your paper is about, identifies the purpose, and previews the main ideas. A thesis statement is not just an observation or a statement of facts, like Gandhi was a peace activist in India. It should make a claim about a topic and identify the main points, like Mahatma Gandhi was an advocate of peace because his nonviolent civil disobedience was essential to the civil rights movement in India and inspired peaceful activism around the world. The type of thesis you write for your paper will depend on the purpose of the paper. If you're writing an expository essay, for example, your thesis statement should tell the reader what you're going to explain, the categories you are using to organize your explanation, and the order in which you will present your categories. If you are writing an argumentative paper, your thesis should tell your reader what claim you plan to argue, what evidence or reasons support that claim, and the order in which you will be presenting those points. For an analytical paper, your thesis should explain what issue or idea you are analyzing, the parts of your analysis, and the order in which you will be presenting those parts. Now that you have a better idea of what makes up a thesis statement, here's a strategy for writing one. To get started, ask yourself the following questions. What about it, and why? What asks what topic you plan to write about. What about it asks your position on that topic. Why is where you provide the main points that support that position. Let's look at an example. Say you want to write about healthy eating habits for kids. Well, that's a bit broad for one paper. You'll need to narrow it down to a smaller topic, like sugar consumption. That answers your what question. For what about it, you'll need to state a position, like that you think it should be limited. Why is where you can put your reasons, like that sugar has no nutritional value, too much of it increases a child's risk of obesity, and too much of it can increase the risk of developing chronic diseases like diabetes. Put that all together and you've got yourself a solid working thesis statement. The consumption of sugar should be limited in children since it contains no nutritional value and too much of it increases the risk of obesity and other chronic diseases. With your working thesis, you now have main points to do further research. You also have a sort of rough outline for your paper, since each of those main points in the why section will become paragraphs or parts of the body of your essay. We hope this strategy for writing thesis statements can help you on all of your college papers. Want to learn more tips for succeeding in college? Stop by the Learning Center of your Hack campus to talk with a tutor, and don't forget to check out our other cool online videos. See you next time!